Hey guys, welcome on into another episode. Getting well with Terry and friends, trends and betting picks. I'm Terry, ready to break down today's slate. We've got quite a few MLB games to talk about, and I'll go over the CFL game as well and give out my CFL premium play for tonight's game. But before we get to that, we will take a look at what happened yesterday on the show and my betting. San Diego run line -1.5, and Jurickson Profar over 1.5 bases. Nice 2-0 start to the day. Of course, Dylan Cease pitching a no hitter. You can't ask for much better than that. Jurickson Profar getting a nice double earlier on in the game. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. over 1.5 bases lost. He did get one hit, and so did his home run prop. He got one hit, but then the Jays were down by so much. His final at bat, he got pulled out of the game. So was hoping for one more chance at the over 1.5 bases and home run, but unfortunately, with the Jays down by so much, they pulled him out of the game. And that brings us to the thank you segment of the day, which I will bring up right now.
At the back foot. Down the left field line. That's a fair ball. Hernandez will let it kick off the wall, and it kicks away from him. That's going to score Soler. That's going to put Fitzgerald at third. And this game is tied.
Tyler Fitzgerald continues to keep on hitting, cashing us the over 1.5 bases prop yesterday, plus 175. No home run, unfortunately, but a quarter unit loss there, the plus 600. And then we've got the final game of the night, the CFL game, Saskatchewan, Montreal. Saskatchewan, a 13-point lead heading into halftime. Everything looks great for the Rough Riders at halftime. Montreal made a change at quarterback in the second half and got a much, much better performance from the backup quarterback. And Saskatchewan did not play well. However, if you watch the game like I did, you will notice that there was a ton of flags thrown against Saskatchewan over and over and over again in the second half. Very few flags thrown against Montreal. Yes, Saskatchewan did not play well in the second half, but the officiating was absolutely awful against the Rough Riders. It literally looked like all the CFL referees got together at halftime and live bet Montreal. That's exactly how it looked yesterday. So, fortunately, Lawrence Butler, which was a late ad, over 1.5 bases, plus 155. Overall, pretty much even, down 0.15 unit on the day. So still on a pretty nice run, up 8 units over the last week. So we'll be looking to keep it going here today on today's slate. And we will jump into the chat here in 1 second. I'll see how things are going. Blues money line, says Jordan Bennington. No, definitely not for a long time / ever. Hello, Terry and friends. Hello, Addison. LMAO. Yeah. Let's go. Hey, Juan, how's it going? It ain't losing. Facts. Yeah, it ain't losing, but it ain't winning. Definitely will be betting against the Blues a ton this upcoming NHL season. The fact that they want to improve their defensive core and they think that Ryan Suter is the guy to do it is all I need to know about how the Blues view their season upcoming. But we will jump right into today's slate here and talk about the first game. I have some more plays today than I have in the recent days, so we'll go over those. Minnesota Twins heading to Detroit to face the Tigers. Pablo Lopez on the mound for the Twins. Um, Kreider Montero on the mound for Detroit. He's had a bit of a rough go. 1-3 with a 5.97 ERA on the season. Back-to-back starts, giving up 5 earned runs against the Dodgers and against Toronto. Now he'll face the Twins. Pablo Lopez, an up and down season. He has been pitching much better recently. When I look at this game here, Byron Buxton is dealing with, I believe he got hit on the arm or something like that. So he's dealing with a day-to-day injury. Most likely will not be in the lineup today. So we'll be looking at his props. Not getting to Larnick or Santana, and not getting to Justin Henry Malloy either. Royce Lewis is coming off the injured list, so he'll be returning for the Minnesota Twins tonight. So that could be a spark that the Twins need, getting Royce Lewis. So we'll see if that helps them out at all. But no player props here in the first game of the night. Second game of the night, Cleveland Guardians and the Philadelphia Phillies. Ben Lively on the mound for the Guardians. Overall, 8-6 with a 3.57 ERA and 17 starts in the season. However, 2-4 with a 5.02 ERA in his last 7 starts. So things have been going a little bit more rocky here in his most recent starts for the Guardians. He's also struggled a bit more here on the road. 3-5 with a 4.27 ERA in 10 starts on the road this season. Christopher Sanchez for the Philadelphia Phillies here. And how I look at this, Ben Lively is a great pitcher for overall on the year. And normally he wouldn't be someone I'm looking to go against with player props. However, Trey Turner's 2 for 4 against him. The 2 hits, one was a triple, one was a home run. So the fact that Lively's struggling, Turner's had success against him. Turner multiple bases in 7 of his last 12 is exactly what we need to jump on Trey Turner over 1.5 bases for a half unit. Didn't get to Castellanos or Harper props. Both are hitting the ball pretty well right now. Neither have faced Ben Lively before. So just going to stick with Trey Turner here. I think this is a good spot for him here against Ben Lively in Philadelphia. All Sports Bets is on Cleveland plus 145. I would be on the other side. Pitching advantage goes with the Phillies. Hitting advantage goes with the Phillies. Home field advantage with the Phillies. I think the Phillies have the advantages here. I'm not on the Phillies, but I would be rather on them than the Cleveland Guardians here in this one. Cincinnati Reds and the Tampa Bay Rays here in this game. And of course, Tampa Bay will be without their most hottest hitter, who I had to take off the spreadsheet. Randy Arozarena, gone, traded to Seattle. And to be honest, Seattle needs a guy. Well, they need more than just Randy Arozarena, but they need guys like Randy Arozarena. So that's a good trade for Seattle. If they are looking at playoffs, or don't think they really should be looking at going deep in the playoffs because that's highly unlikely to happen with their offense. But if they want to make a run of some kind, they need guys like Arozarena. So that's great for them. Not so great for the Tampa Bay Rays, though, coming into this game. Of course, they had to play in Toronto yesterday against the Jays. 4-3 since the All-Star break is the Tampa Bay Rays. Now they're coming home here to face a rested Cleveland team, or a Cincinnati team here. And on the mound, we've got Nick Lodolo for the Cincinnati Reds, Shane Baz on the mound for the Rays. We're going to go with Ellie De La Cruz over 1.5 bases. He's done that in 9 of his last 12 games. A home run in his last game. Jake Fraley as well, multiple bases in 3 of his last 4 he also got a home run in his last game. So both players hitting well. Now coming to Tampa Bay. Right now, the only hot Rays player is Brandon Lowe. But you got to think this Tampa Bay Rays team, obviously playing yesterday, now having to travel home without their hottest hitter, Randy Rosarena. You got to think the mood in Tampa Bay is probably not too good right now. So um, that's all I'll say about the side here. I may or may not have a premium play in this game, but I have a MLB 3-pack up on the site available at picksandparlays.net. But yeah, you can probably tell how I feel about this game. Tampa Bay is a team I'm going to be looking to go against here. Uh, the Sun, the Rays, really, the Rays. Hmm. Hmm. Reds run line. Believe the money line's at -104. I would just go with the money line if you wanted to back Cleveland. I wouldn't go with the run line, or if you wanted to back Cincinnati. I don't know why I keep saying Cleveland. Different teams, same state, different teams. But we'll move on along to our next game here. San Diego Padres are heading to Baltimore to face the Orioles. Um, Adam Mazur on the mound for the Padres. Grayson Rodriguez on the mound for the Orioles. Obviously, pitching advantage goes to the Orioles by far with Grayson Rodriguez. When I look at this game, Drickson Profar, 4 games in a row over 1.5 bases. I was leaning towards this. I believe it's around -105. And it's not that I hate that price, but Grayson Rodriguez has been he's been decent. Or actually, sorry, no, I think it's actually plus ones. Actually, I think it's a plus 160 or something like that. So it is actually a decent price for Profar over 1.5 bases, I believe. The reason I'm staying off is Rodriguez has pitched. He's one of the Orioles' best pitchers. Last start against Texas, 3 hits, 2 earned runs. Against the Yankees, he got smashed, 8 hits, 6 earned runs, but pretty decent before that overall. So numbers wise, I probably should be on Profar over 1.5 bases, but ultimately I'm just staying off this game. When it comes to the Orioles, Connor Norby's heating up for the Orioles, Colton Cowser, Santander, 11-game hit streak. He's either going to hit a single or he's probably going to hit a home run. That's how it goes for Santander. So you could look at his props, but for some reason, I just don't have much luck with Santander. But he hits home runs all the time. Well, not all the time, but he hits home runs a lot. So it's just weird that we never connect well. Strong lean towards the Padres plus 165. Norby. Yes. He's been hitting very well recently for the Baltimore Orioles. Texas Rangers heading to Toronto to face the Blue Jays. Of course, the Blue Jays played at home yesterday, so they don't have to travel. Texas does have to travel here. Andrew Heaney on the mound for the Rangers. Yusei Kikuchi, most likely about to play his last start in Toronto. Now, of course, maybe he doesn't get traded at the deadline, but I'd be pretty surprised to see him in the Jays uniform after the deadline. So this most likely will be his final start in Toronto. When I look at this game from a side perspective, I have no interest in betting it. Neither of these teams are going anywhere, unless, of course, one of them goes on an amazing second half run. That's what it would take here for either team to really go anywhere. So ultimately, not getting to anything with the side. Marcus Simeon, obviously a hit in 12 of his last 13 games. He is coming in hitting pretty well for the Rangers. A former Blue Jay, I could see him doing damage. He's going to hit a home run or do some damage, at least against the Jays in this series. Don't know if this is the spot here. 6 for 28 against Kikuchi with a double and a home run. Vladdy also has a double and a home run against Andrew Heaney, but not in 28 at bats in four. He's 3 for 4 against Andrew Heaney. Of course, Vladdy being kept off the home run sheet, didn't hit his bases either yesterday. But I'm going right back to him here. Quarter unit on the home run, half unit on over 1.5 bases. Vladdy, hot right now, and 3 for 4 against Andrew Heaney. He's done well against him. So I'll take Vladdy props here. Springer cooling off the last couple games. 5 for 16 with a double against Andrew Heaney. So not bad, but not good enough for me to take him. I'll focus on Vladimir Guerrero Jr. here in this game. Moving on along to the next one here, Atlanta Braves and the New York Mets. Charlie Morton on the mound for the Braves. Kodai Senga on the mound for the Mets, making his season debut for the Mets. How is he going to pitch in his season debut? Well, as we've seen from some other guys like Robbie Ray, you can come out here in your first game and pitch really well. And then there has been other guys that I can't really remember off the top of my head that have struggled. So it could go either way here in this one. Marcell Ozuna, 1 for 3 against Senga with a double, multiple bases in 7 of 11. So not quite enough for me to take him here. Not taking Clinic or Darno either. Jose Iglesias, 2 for 3 with a double here against Charlie Morton, multiple bases in 7 of 9. So that's a prop you could look for if you were looking at a Mets prop. McNeil's been hitting very well, only 6 for 28 with 2 doubles. Lindor is 7 for 47. And I know 7 hits looks good, but in 47 at bats, that's really bad. So Lindor, yes, he's hit 2 home runs, 3 doubles in that stretch, but 7 for 47 is not good. Lindor is hitting very well right now, so don't be surprised if he does hit a bomb. He's hit 1 in 3 of his last 4 games. So you could look at Lindor, you could look at McNeil, you could look at Iglesias if you think Atlanta's going to have a rough game in this one. Ultimately, not a game I'm getting to. This is a little bit of a higher volume slate for me today, so this one not a game that I want to bet on. Want to see how Senga pitches first? Lean under. Yes. It's tough to bet a side or total when you have a starting pitcher making his debut because you really don't know how he's going to come out in his first game. Lindor for MVP, only 2. Yeah, no. Lindor's hot right now, but I don't see that continuing for the rest of the season. So I think he'll go back to how he was earlier on in the season, which was doing nothing. So hot right now, but I don't see it continuing the rest of the year. New York Yankees are facing the Boston Red Sox here. Nestor Cortez on the mound for the Yankees. Brian Bello on the mound for the Boston Red Sox here. Now, this is probably a game that I probably should be looking at some player props here. Cortez has been really bad. Overall, 4-9 with a 3.99 ERA on the season, but 1-4 with a 4.62 ERA in his last 7 starts, and on the road 0-5 with a 6.04 ERA. So Cortez does not like to pitch on the road and has not been pitching well recently. On the other side for the Red Sox, Brian Bello, 4-2 in his last 7 starts. So a good win-loss record in his last 7 starts. However, he's got a 6.03 ERA. His last 3 starts, 5 hits, 3 earned runs against the Dodgers, 7 hits, 3 earned runs against Kansas City in a win, 9 hits, 5 earned runs against Oakland in a win. So he's winning some games, but he's winning some high-scoring games here in this one. Kind of talking myself towards a total here that I've not bet before the show started. 9.5. 9.5. Hmm. This seems like an over game, maybe a team total over game. Um, Obviously, I'm doing the show right now, so I'm not going to look into it further because I would need to do that not live. But um, I think this is an over game, or a team total over game, maybe on one side. Juan Soto, 1 for 3 with a double here against um, Brian Bello. Not sure what Soto props would look like here. Gleyber Torres 6 for 16 with 2 doubles. Volpe 3 for 8 with 1 double. Devers 3 for 14, a double, 2 home runs. Duran 1 for 4. Duran's been really hot recently. So stay tuned to Twitter and of course the spreadsheet. If I add any player props in this game, I'll update on the spreadsheet and then I'll post on Twitter if I'm going to add anything sideways in this game. But moving on along, Chicago Cubs and the Kansas City Royals here in this. I'll have to check weather too in Boston. Um, Kyle Hendricks on the mound for the Cubs. Brady Singer on the mound for the Kansas City Royals here in this one. Um, the Cubs are starting to cool off recently. Both of these players, Suzuki 1 for 1, Horner 1 for 3, so no real interest there. Perez 1 for 8 with a double. Witt Jr. 1 for 3. Renfro 4 for 12, 2 doubles and a home run. So Renfro has had some success against Hendricks. Ultimately, not getting to any props here. If I was getting to anything, it would be Bobby Witt Jr. over 1.5 bases, but usually that is not priced very well. Yeah, over 1.5 bases for Witt Jr. is -175. You'd have to go with over 2.5 bases, which is +120. Not that I have anything against over 2.5 bases, but that's just a lot. I'd rather look at other plays on the slate, which is what I've done when it comes to player props. KC or pass? KC run line or pass if you were going here in this one. Or maybe King's KC team total. Seattle Mariners, Chicago White Sox. Of course, Randy Rosarena will likely not play today, but instead of having nobody here up on the sheet, I figured put Randy Rosarena in there as he's now with the Seattle Mariners. I'd be shocked if he played today. Even if he does play today, I'm not betting any of his props. So uh, pass there. And then we've got the Chicago White Sox, and you guys know what that means. On to the next game. Miami Marlins and the Milwaukee Brewers here in this one. On the mound for Miami, Trevor Rogers, Freddie Peralta on the mound for the Brewers. Josh Bell has been hitting well recently. 4 for 21 with a home run against Freddie Peralta. The player I'm looking at, though, is Rhys Hoskins. Only has multiple bases in 4 of his last 8 games. So there are games, obviously, where he doesn't get anything. Then there are games where he hits well. He's 8 for 19 against Trevor Rogers with 2 doubles and 3 home runs. So he's really had success against Rogers. That's enough for me to pull the trigger on him here over 1.5 bases. I believe it was a pretty good price. I'll mention it at the end when I do the recap. But Rhys Hoskins over 1.5 bases for the Brewers here. This one. Well, Seattle White Sox is such an obvious under. So Nick's taking the over. Yeah, pass. Pass. 1-800-GAMBLER. No reason to bet that, in my opinion. LA Dodgers are facing the Houston Astros here. Gavin Stone on the mound for the Dodgers. Framber Valdez on the mound for the Astros. Ultimately, not getting to any props here in this game. Otani, 4 for 34 is not good. He has been hitting well recently, though, but not good numbers overall against Valdez. Um, the Astros, you could look at Alvarez. He's heating up recently, but ultimately, not a game I want to get to here between these two teams. Washington Nationals, St. Louis Cardinals. Mackenzie Gore on the mound for the Nationals. Sonny Gray on the mound for the Cardinals. Again, another game that I'm staying off of here. No interest in either of the Washington Nationals players. Um, if I was looking at the Cardinals, Alec Burleson RBI, 10 of his last 13 games. He's over 2 here against Mackenzie Gore. But still, maybe somebody could look at here. Goldschmidt starting to heat up a little bit recently, but ultimately not a game I'm getting to here. Games I like better on today's slate. Yes, Nick, we know you love the Astros. You've got futures on the Astros, and we know you fade the Dodgers every game. So of course you're gonna like Houston. Go Dodgers! I hope they sweep the Astros this year. Watch your money line if anyone other than Gore pitching after being no hit yesterday. There you go. There you go. But we'll move on along to our next game here. Oakland Athletics are facing the LA Angels for the second game of the series. Paul Blackburn is back. I'll be on the mound here for the Athletics. 3-2 with a 4.11 ERA. He's been out for injury for a bit here for the Oakland Athletics. Carson Fulmer on the mound for the Angels. 0-2 with a 3.66 ERA on the season. So he hasn't necessarily been awful, but hasn't really pitched a lot overall this year. Brent Rooker and Lawrence Butler. Two reasons why this Oakland Athletics team scores a lot of runs and has been actually winning games. I think Oakland has exceeded anyone's expectations. Well, 42 and 63, so I guess they're not like 500 or anything, but um, with the roster they had, people had this team as the worst team in Major League Baseball, which is not where they're at. Brent Rooker over 1.5 bases in 9 of his last 13 games, 3 for 4 with 2 doubles against Calmer. Fulmer, sorry. And Lawrence Butler cashed on him last night. His props weren't available during the day, so we had to add him a little bit later. But multiple bases in 9 of his last 10 games. Home run in 2 of 3. He's been excellent. 1 for 5 with a double against Fulmer, but that's fine. I'll still take him here. 9 of 10 games is a very hot streak for Mr. Butler. The Angels not getting to anything here. Joe Adell 1 for 2 with the home run against Blackburn. Moniak 0 for 4. Nito hasn't really faced him. So no Angels props for me. Just going to stick with Rooker and Butler here in this one, in this game. Oakland over 57 wins is looking decent. Angels money line today, though. Yeah, we'll see. You're not going to find me betting the Angels at all the rest of the year. Not a team I want to bet on, but I'm not on Oakland either here. Blackburn, who was absolutely fantastic to start the season, like he was like completely lights out, but has been getting roughed up before his injury. So we'll see what he can do here for the Athletics. Maybe he comes out here and pitches a really, really good game, and then Oakland tries to trade him off here before the deadline. Because that's what I thought they should have did all year, but of course that injury doesn't help trading somebody. I repost the show for our guy Terry. Thanks, Terry, for all your work. Thank you, Kelly. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Pittsburgh Pirates and the Arizona Diamondbacks here in this one. Byron Reynolds is on the bereavement list, so unfortunately, Someone in his family passed away, so I'm sorry. Rest in peace to them. I'm sorry to hear that. Andrew McCutcheon, 2 for 2 against Gallen, who has not been confirmed. He's supposed to be pitching. We'll see if that's the case. Not touching Pittsburgh here, but the Pirates have been playing pretty good baseball recently. But so has the Diamondbacks here. Ketel Marte has got a home run in 3 games in a row. I really lean with Ketel Marte props. Not taking it. Luis Ortiz has been really good for Pittsburgh when he's been on the mound. So not taking any props here in this game, but won't be shocked to see Marte hit a home run because that's what he's been doing in 3 games in a row for the Diamondbacks. If they were facing a bad pitcher here, I would be on it. But against a good pitcher, 3 games in a row, I'm not going to jump on it for the 4th. Arizona play in Arizona, then play in Philly. Weird little info. Under. Okay, awesome. And the final game of the night, we've got the Colorado Rockies heading to San Francisco to face the Giants. Kyle Freeland on the mound for the Rockies. Kyle Harrison on the mound for the San Francisco Giants here in this one. As you can see, Doyle 1 for 7 against Harrison. Toglia 0 for 1. Tovar 0 for 4, all singles. So not getting to any props here for Colorado. If I was going to be looking at somebody, it would be Tovar over 1.5 bases, but I don't quite like that. I do, however, like Tyler Fitzgerald. We continue to talk about him show after show after show. And 8 of his last 9 games, he's got a hit. He's got multiple bases in 7 games in a row. Unfortunately, it's not plus 200 today. Now that he's facing the Rockies and not the Dodgers, it's only plus 125 for Fitzgerald over 1.5 bases. But still plus money for someone who's got multiple bases in 7 games in a row and just happens to be 2 for 2 against Freeland. 1 double, 1 home run. So not jumping off Fitzgerald props anytime soon. So quarter unit on the home run, which he's done in 5 of 7, and a full unit on the over 1.5 bases at plus 125. Getting Robbie Ray is good. The San Francisco Giants team may be a team to kind of look at here in the second half. They're a team that I'm going to be keeping my eye on here in the second half. Tyler Fitzgerald props. What else to say? Anyone that's been watching the show and tailing plays has been really happy with what he's done for us this year. Teams play each other. Series weird. Okay. Rocky's first 5 plus 145. No reason to. If you like it, you like it. But I wouldn't bet a side in this game. And if I was, I'd be looking at San Francisco because they're a team I'm looking to bet on this season. CFL. No player props to look at today. I did not update the player props for this game. Not a game I'm looking at for player props. If I was looking at something, it would be Khalil Pimpleton for the Ottawa Redblacks. I may get to something for him later on. If so, I will post in the spreadsheet and Twitter. Looking at this game here, I do have a premium play in this game, which I'm about to give out. We've got Calgary 3-3 in the season, 3-0 at home, 0-3 on the road. Ottawa, 3-0 at home, 1-2 on the road. So both of these teams, of course, a much better home team than road team. Calgary has had success against the Red Blacks in recent years, but you have to realize that this Ottawa team has been quite bad for quite a few years now. This 4-2 record is the best record they've had in quite a few years heading into this game. Calgary just came off beating BC. Yes, it was only a 1-point win, but that's still a very big win for the Stampeders, 3-3. Now they're traveling to Ottawa. So they have to travel here. The Red Blacks, a nice 3-0 at home. Of course, they're not blowing anyone away, but the Red Blacks are finding ways to win close games. And that's exactly what I feel like this game is going to be, a close game. So we've got an undefeated team at home. We've got the road team off a very big win, and then having to travel. That's enough for me to pull the trigger here on the Red Blacks. I believe they go to 5-2 here, and 4-0 at home. So that's how we'll take this game. Of course, as I said with props, haven't really looked at any here. The total at 51.5 does seem a little bit high. Calgary, 3 of their 6 games they've gone over, 3 they've gone under. Ottawa, they've gone under in 4 of 6. 4 of the last 5 between these teams have gone under 41.5, so 10 points less than what this total's at. If somebody wanted a total, I would be looking at the under here. I do think the total is a bit too high, but I've only bet one CFL under between Calgary and Winnipeg because both teams have been trending towards the under. They trended towards unders in the past, and then Winnipeg wins 41-37. So no unders in the CFL, but this one kind of has the feeling like it could be a lower scoring game. Colorado just played San Francisco. Did they? Oh, yeah. Ottawa plus 104. Me and Nick agreeing on the CFL doesn't happen often. Good luck, Terry and friends, to you as well, Kelly. Ottawa first half as well. Yeah, hopefully, but I don't really bet first halves that much. Premium plays on picks and parlays. MLB 3-pack is up on the site for purchase. Of course, the CFL play that I just gave out is available for purchase as well. So maybe don't buy it because I gave it to you guys for free. But my MLB pack is up on the site. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Not going to do a show tomorrow, but the spreadsheet, check the spreadsheet for plays tomorrow, and then premium plays on picks and parlays. Show will be back on Monday. We will recap today's slate here. Bear with me for a second. Today's slate. Trey Turner, over 1.5 bases, minus 106. Jake Fraley, over 1.5 bases, plus 175. Ellie De La Cruz, over 1.5 bases, plus 140. Vladdy, home run, plus 475. Vladdy, over 1.5 bases, plus 104. Ottawa money line, plus 100. Rhys Hoskins, over 1.5 bases, plus 130. Lawrence Butler and Brent Rooker, both over 1.5 bases, both plus 128. Tyler Fitzgerald, home run, plus 650. Tyler Fitzgerald, my favorite play of the day, over 1.5 bases, plus 125 for today's slate. Thank you for watching, and we will see you guys all on the next show. Thanks, guys.